Now the forearms here, strongest part. This section here, the weakest part. They've also got a cartilage plate in their backside, just like what the wombats do. It's a little bit smaller, but it's just under my hand here. But it's still very thick. And all koalas do is sit on it. It's their cushion. They spend all that time sitting up in the tree. So it just gives them something to balance on, because they are sitting there asleep for about 20 hours a day. Ooh. 20 hours. Be nice, wouldn't it? A bit boring maybe after a while, but that'd be alright for 1 or 2 days. Now those 4 hours that they're awake, it's not in one big stretch. They will spread that out, mostly through the night. Now, a koala's life is pretty basic. They don't do much. There's not really much time for anything else in 4 hours of being awake. They eat, they sleep and they breed. That's pretty much it. Now breeding for these animals, things happen rather quickly. Okay? For koalas, they're only pregnant for about 35 days. 35 days, really short. Wombats is about 3 weeks. That's short, that's amazing, isn't it? That's a very tiny baby that they produce, a little one. It's called a joey. It's about that big when it's born. Tiny. That goes up into the pouch. Remember right at the start, the marsupials, they have a pouch. And that pouch has the opening right down at the bottom near their backside. And the joey crawls up in there. There's 2 teats, so it latches onto one and starts feeding straight away. And mum produces the milk constantly, so they're always kept fed. The koalas will stay in there for around about 6 months, because they've got a lot of growing to do. They have to grow arms and legs and fur. They need to get a bit of fur before they come out. A wombats is a little bit longer. They'll be in that pouch for about 9 months. So now it's starting to sound like our pregnancy, doesn't it? A human pregnancy. By the time we're born, we're fully developed, mostly. All our arms and legs usually have a bit of hair. Okay? Same for these guys, except they look like a little chewed up jelly bean when they're born. So the pouch is where the rest of their developing happens. Koalas will stay with their mum till they're about 1 year old. So it's not very long, 1 year. Wombats have been known to stay with their mum for up to 2 years. So they have a little bit more to learn. To give you an idea, down in the koala house we have our maternity section. Have you seen the little joey in there with her mum still? Down in the koala house on the right hand side, there's a little koala in there, still with her mum. She's about that big. And she's about between 10 and 11 months old. So that will give you an idea of how they're growing. So if she was in the wild, only about 1 more month, and she would move away. She could survive by herself. So they still are quite small. They have to worry about dingoes and foxes as well when they do come down to the ground. But even up in the trees, there's eagles and big snakes. Now, Australia has snakes that could swallow a koala whole. Very big snakes. So they always have to be aware of what's going on around them, especially when they're sleeping for so long. Other things like bushfires. Australia has lots of bushfires every year, as well as cars on the road. Unfortunately, they do claim a few each year, and the loss of their habitat. Fantastic experience. Make sure you go and check it out. It's an opportunity. It doesn't come up very often. There's very few places that actually allow handling of koalas, so make sure you make the most of that. After that is the crocodile feeding, which is on the other side of the park. You'll be heading straight through the koala house anyway, so you're headed in the right direction.
Well guys, first off, welcome to Cairns Tropical Zoo and welcome to the crocodile presentation. Now my name's Alex, I'm going to be doing the show for you guys this afternoon. We've got Christy here. It's basically Christy's job to try and save the day if things start to go wrong. So I guess have some pity on me. I've got to rely on Christy to save the day today. But of course, the real star of the show are the different crocodiles we're going to be working with. Now, these animals here, first off, they're one of 2 species of crocodilians you find in Australia. One of the 23 different species you find worldwide. And they go by a few different names. Their most common name, though, is the freshwater crocodile. You may have heard of them being referred to before as the Johnson's River crocodile and the Johnson's crocodile. But freshwater crocodile, or fresh, is probably the best name that they are known by. Now, these animals here, they are also the only endemic species of crocodile to Australia. When I say endemic, I mean the only species of crocodile that's found here and nowhere else. The saltwater crocodiles, you've probably seen a second ago, they're found throughout quite a wide distribution or area of the world, whereas these freshwater crocodiles are only really found in the northern tropical parts of Australia. So they're quite a unique little animal. Now, obviously, there's a number of differences between these ones here and the estuarine crocodiles, and I guess the main difference you probably can see has got to do with their size. They are a much smaller animal, and because they are a smaller animal, it means that they eat smaller things. So things like fish, crustaceans, the odd small bird and mammal, and insects actually form quite a big part of this animal diet out in the wild. So this is an animal where humans are definitely off the menu. We don't need to worry about getting eaten by this species, whereas the estuarine crocodiles or the salties, they're the ones that you really do need to watch out for. But in saying that, as you can see, they've got pretty big teeth. They've still got a tremendous amount of closing force or pressure in their jaws. We'll see if we can give you a demonstration of it. That's the sound there, just of those jaws closing together. That wasn't even that loud. We'll see if we can do it again. Nope, that was a bad aim, wasn't it? Come on.
Getting for the food.
What about you over there? No.
He just wants the food.
We'll see if we can get another one of those jaw slaps in a second with one of the other crocodiles, maybe. No, not too good. But they do have that crazy, really, amount of closing force of pressure in those jaws there. Now, the sound of those jaws closing together just then wasn't that loud. On a good day, it's really, really loud. And hopefully we'll be able to demonstrate that later on with some of the larger estuarine crocodiles. Now, it is quite simple to avoid getting bitten, I guess, by one of these freshies. All you've really got to do is leave them alone. And to be honest, with the freshwater crocodiles in particular, it is extremely easy to do so because most of the time they actively try and stay away from people. They're actually quite a shy, nervous animal out in the wild. There's no way at all that you would get this close to a freshwater crocodile in the wild. Most of the time they'll be in the billabong or lake, completely on the other side, as far away from you as they can. So they're quite a shy, quite a secretive animal as well. Estuarine crocodiles, on the other hand, are a bit of a different story, really. So this is a learnt behaviour, all these animals up here at the moment. They've learned over time, if they come up here, they get a bit of food. Whereas in the wild, the complete opposite sort of thing would be happening. They'd be as far away from you as they could. Now, also, those long, narrow jaws that you can see, they're designed to help this animal eat smaller things. So like I said earlier on, things like fish, crustaceans, insects even, they're quite a large part of this animal's diet out in the wild. Little things like that. And their teeth are also slightly differently designed to the estuarine crocodiles as well. Now, there are about 35 of these animals in this enclosure at the moment, and each and every one of them gets along fairly well with each other. With estuarine crocodiles, the salties, they're a lot more territorial.
Oh my,
these freshwater crocodiles are very tolerant of each other. The salties are very territorial. He doesn't have the best table manners, as you can see. Come on, up here.
Woo!
Okay, and we'll throw the rest of this food out.
Woo! There they go. Oh, here come the big guys.
Now, see that big male coming up now? That's about as big as a freshwater crocodile would get to be. So normally they are a lot smaller. But you can see the average size of the animals in this enclosure. A big male like that is about maximum size for freshwater crocodiles. Now we'll go and visit our saltwater crocodiles in a second and go and check those ones out. And you'll notice straight away that the size difference that I'm referring to, if you're not aware of it already, saltwater crocodiles, they are regarded as being the largest, if not the largest species of crocodilian anywhere in the world. So what we'll do is we'll go and check those guys out. Today we're going to go over and feed Sultan first off. So if you guys want to head over in that direction over there, here's one of our largest crocodiles here at the zoo. And he probably measures in at roughly about 4.5 metres long, give or take a little bit. It is quite difficult, as you can imagine, to try and measure one of these animals. Now, Sultan is a great example of an adult estuarine crocodile. An adult male estuarine crocodiles in particular, they've evolved over those many millions of years that they've been around. In fact, they reckon crocodilians of the group have been around for over 250 million years. So they've evolved throughout that whole time to be really, really efficient predators. And guys, what Sultan's doing right now is he's basically hunting. Okay, so that's the crocodile hunting there. Not really doing too much. That's because they're what we refer to as being an ambush predator. It means that they sit by the water's edge, waiting for that perfect opportunity for that prey item to make its way a little bit too close down towards the water's edge. And as soon as it does that, the crocodile gets itself in position, in that sort of right position, gets ready to lunge up and out of the water, and then grab a hold of that prey item. Now what we're going to do now is just see how awake Mr. Sultan is this afternoon.
I don't know.
That was an anticlimax, wasn't it? We'll give him a second to wake up a little bit and remember that he is actually a crocodile. But while we are, I guess, waiting for him, it's a bit hard to make one of these creatures of this sort of size do what you want on command. But you can imagine over the many years that there's been a fair bit of debate in terms of how large estuarine crocodiles can get to be. Like I said, Sultan's is probably roughly about 4.5 metres long. So he's a fairly large animal, but he is by no means the largest estuarine crocodile out there. There's been quite a bit of debate, like I said, over the years, and there's some stories that do suggest that crocodiles in excess of 8 metres long once existed, not in the, back in the 1950s and in the era like that. Now, unfortunately, most of those stories are just hearsay. There's no substantiated evidence to suggest that animals can get that long. But as far as we're aware, the largest crocodile in captivity at the moment is about 5.5 metres long. So Sultan there, as you can see, he is awake, he is a real animal, and imagine a crocodile maybe 3 metres longer than him, and then we're talking about how big some of those stories suggest that they could get to be.
Yeah.
Now we'll see if we can encourage him to come out of the water for us. Wait, come on. Up here. Come on. You want to come up? Come on, mate. You can do it. Come on. Up here. What are you doing? He's playing a bit of a game with us at the moment, so we'll come a little bit closer. I'm not going to play that game with him this afternoon. Come on. You can do it. Up here. Come on. Up here. Hey. Get that back. Hey. Come on. You can do it. Okay, well, we might need to see if we can entice him out with a little bit of food then. An estuarine crocodile is basically at a size where they could eat almost whatever they want to. People, unfortunately, do fall in that size range, obviously. And animals as large as maybe a cow or a water buffalo have been recorded in the past as being prey for these animals. Come on, you can do it. Up here. Come on. Any day now. Hey, come on. Come on, you can do it.
That's right.
I think he wants me to throw it in his mouth. You can see anyway, now that he's, I guess, half out the real size that he is. And you can see those teeth that he's got as well. Now, crocodiles, their teeth are designed in a manner that allows them to basically grab onto their prey. He doesn't want his prey to get away, so the teeth are basically designed to hold onto that prey item. Now, they're not designed to be able to cut through it though. That's when, if Sultan here wants to take out a larger prey item, that he's got to employ a few different tactics to be able to break it apart into smaller bite-sized chunks of meat. So have you guys ever heard of the term the death roll, or the crocodile roll? Yeah? That's one of the ways that they can break apart that food item. Basically the theory being because of the tremendous amount of closing force in those jaws, which we will quickly touch on in a second, and the force in those teeth, that whatever is in his mouth isn't going to be able to get out. So by shaking around and rolling really violently within the water, it's basically going to be torn off, and he'll be able to then swallow down that bite-sized chunk of meat. Now, going back to that closing force in those jaws, estuarine crocodiles, they do have the strongest amount of closing force or pressure in those jaws out of any animal in the animal kingdom. Now, for example, humans, we've got about 125 pounds per square inch closing force or pressure in our jaws. Lions, fully grown lions, have about 900 pounds per square inch force in their jaws. Estuarine crocodiles in excess of 3,000 pounds per square inch closing force or pressure. And that's the sound of those jaws closing together. It serves, I think, as a bit of a reminder to us why you don't want to get eaten by a crocodile. Now, I take it most of you guys are visiting Cairns today, or holidaying in Cairns at the moment, is that correct? Yeah. Are any of you guys a little teeny-weeny bit worried about getting eaten by a crocodile or attacked by one of them while you're up here? Be honest. Over there, the man with the camera. Okay, well, there's always at least one of us. But it is, I guess, a fair thing to be concerned about. But at the same time, it's incredibly easy to avoid having it happen to you. Now, in particular around Cairns, in every single area where these animals are known to occur, the government's put up the big warning signs. Have a look on the island there directly in front of me and you'll see an example of one of those signs. Now, those signs are up in every single area that these animals do naturally occur. So follow those signs and use a bit of common sense, and if you do that, you're not going to get eaten by one of them. It really is as simple as that. Now, in terms of how many people do get attacked or killed by these animals each year, nowhere near as many as you would expect. In fact, crocodiles aren't even the animal in Australia responsible for killing or attacking the most people each year. Hey, come on, up here. You can do it. Right here, Cairns. Good job, come on. Come on, up here. Great for you. Do we have any volunteers who want to jump in the water and wake him up for us? There's always one person that puts their hand up. Wait. Come on. Wait, up here. Okay. What we'll do now though, we'll let him finish off that little bit of food and we'll duck over and visit one last crocodile for you this afternoon. Jack's little girlfriend back in the water. Thinking about it. Come on. Okay, you ready for that? Come on, up here. Hey. Come on. You're not looking at the food, you're looking at my head. Come on. Stop. Can you just grab that bit of food for us, Christy? Yeah, cheers. Well guys, on that note, we will wrap up the show there. If you do have any questions at all, feel free to hang around and ask either myself or Christy, and we will be more than happy to answer them for you. But guys, on that note, we'll wrap up the show there. Any questions, like I said, feel free to hang around and ask. Otherwise, I do hope you enjoy your day here at Cairns Tropical Zoo. Thank you.